So today I'm going to talk about kind of goal setting, but in a different way, because the reality is most people know how to set goals and do goal setting, and it really just doesn't work. And you're probably here because you're in the same boat and you want to actually achieve what you want and get clear about what you want. And as you'll learn today, there's reasons why you kind of keep falling down and are not really getting where you want to be in terms of your body or your business or anything else you want to achieve. So how to get what you want and what to do to get it. So we're not going to actually start with the goals today, because I think the first place to start and the first concept to realize in terms of why you keep failing is that you are failing because you lack balance across different areas of your life. So I would say in the past you've set a goal, let's say around your business or your work. You start working towards that goal, but then kind of everything else falls out of balance. So your health starts to suffer, you get out of shape, you get grumpy, you start treating your partner and the people around you not very well because you're working so hard, and then your mindset kind of gets thrown off, you're stressed, you're anxious. So you might be kind of going towards your goal, you might achieve it, but then everything else falls apart, or actually eventually what happens is you just run out of energy and you run out of capacity to keep producing towards that goal. So the concept was introduced to me by one of my coaches, Paul Moore, who also works through someone called Garrett J. White. So this concept is something called the Core Four. So the Core Four basically is trying to get the four most critical areas of your life in balance, and actually we're going to set goals around all four areas, because what I'm saying and what I've found from experience is that if you don't set goals across the four different areas of your life, you actually won't achieve anything. If you don't create balance first, which creates more energy to keep producing across all of the areas, then you're going to fail. So you can sit down and set some great goals around your business or great goals around your training and your body, but it just won't actually happen until you get balance first. So there's four areas in the Core Four, and they're in this order of importance. One is the body, so it's anything to do with your health, fitness, body. Two is your mind, so that's your mental state, your mindset, the thoughts you think, your mental calmness, anything to do with your mind. Three is relationships, so that might be relationships with your partner or your friends, your family, relationships with anybody around you. And four is to do with your work or your business. I would say, especially as a personal trainer and anybody that has their own business, which we tend to have this in completely the reverse order. The business comes first and work comes first, and then everything else is secondary, but the problem is you get out of shape, your mindset gets completely screwed, you treat everybody around you terribly, and eventually it all falls apart, especially when the business isn't going so well. It just feels like your whole life's falling apart because you sacrificed everything. But I see it across all areas. You know, it might be someone doing a fitness competition or trying to get in shape, and they kind of throw up everything else. They don't take care of their mindset, they don't go out and socialise, they don't see anyone because they're trying to be too strict on their diet, they're training all the time, and everything kind of falls apart. So we're going to set one goal around each of the Core Four. We're going to set targets for 90 days. Now the reason that you do 90 days, from my experience and from what I've read, 90 days is the best time period to set goals around. Any longer than that, it's too long, it's too easy to put off, it's too far in the future. Any shorter than that, it doesn't really excite you enough. So we set a 90-day target around each of the Core Four, and I'll give you an example of that. Keep it really simple, and there's two questions that you want to ask around each of the goals. One is, why does it matter? The main reason people fail with goal setting is they pick goals, they sort of just pick things out of the air, and they don't really think about why does it matter? Why does it matter to you? And then the second most critical question to answer, and what I'm a big fan of, is what are the 2 daily actions that you need to do every single day to make this happen? See, most people set goals without any real thought of what needs to be done. They pick and choose actions, so they might eat well on certain days, and then just let it all fall apart on other days. There's no consistency, and you are what you do every day. So why does it matter so much? Why is it important to you? Because just picking, I'm going to lose 10 kilos or I'm going to have 100 grand in the bank, it doesn't really mean anything. It's got to be really, why does this matter? So keep digging down. Why is that important? Why is that important? Why is that important? And then what do you need to do? 2 daily actions around each of the core 4. So here's my examples right now. Around the body, in 90 days, which is the 30th of June as of now, 10% body fat. The reason that's important to me is actually because I want to launch a trainer mentoring program. You're probably watching this because you're potentially part of that email list or part of that program right now. And for me, when I'm in my best physical shape, I have a lot of confidence, and when I stand in front of a group of trainers, it just gives me, I will not have the confidence to do it if I'm not in good enough shape. So it's extremely important to me. I will not achieve any of my other goals, and you'll find this as well, is that the goals carry over onto each other. I won't achieve anything else unless I'm there. It gives me confidence, it gives me power, I feel great, I feel energetic, I'll be able to keep producing and work because I'll be focused on training and nutrition to get there. So it's really, really important to me. Around my mindset, sometimes it's hard to set an exact goal around this, but my goal is, it's more based on a target, which is I'm going to do 90 meditations seated upright. Why it's important? Because when I do the meditation and I do it properly and I do it seated upright, it calms my mindset down and I'm just in a lot better place mentally. If I do it lying down, I tend to fall asleep, and it's not really the idea of meditation. And for me, doing seated upright meditations every day will give me the energy and the calmness to keep going. Otherwise I get too frazzled, my sleep starts to go off, and I won't achieve what I want to achieve. My goal around the relationship is to propose to my partner. So there's some things that I need to do to make that happen in terms of financially. So it kind of ties into my business goal. And it's important to me because it's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And it actually just makes me focus on her as well. It's just an important factor for me. I tend to forget about the relationships. The second part of that as well is writing something I appreciate about her every day as part of the proposal. For business, it will be on the 4th of July. I want to have 50 trainers signed up to the first workshop as part of the trainer mentoring program. That's important to me because that's the number that I need financially to make it work, and just in terms of actually to have the numbers of trainers. There's more power in more numbers, and for me that's a number that's really important. Okay, so you can see how there's 4 goals. Body, 10% body fat. Mind, 90 seated upright meditations. Relationships, proposed to Elle with appreciations written down about her. Business, 50 people signed up to this trainer mentoring program. Around each of those goals, so that each of the core 4, you have 2 daily actions. So if you open up the tracking spreadsheet, you'll see all this kind of laid out for you. So there's the daily actions, the core 4, body, mind, relationships and business. And then under each of those there's 2 daily actions. So you need to think about what are the daily actions for you that are going to get you towards that goal. The ones that you are going to do every day. So for me, body, daily action 1, it's around training, which is a session that I'm proud of. It's normally like I've progressed or I've done, I just know if it's a decent session or if I've just gone in there and fucked around. The second is around nutrition. So for me at the moment, it's have food prepared the day before for the next day. If I do those 2 things, I'll end up at 10% body fat. If I train 90 sessions or near about 90 sessions and have food prepared every day, I'll be in great shape. Mind. 1 is meditation, which I've sort of already put as part of the target. The target is the action. It's hard to sort of specify exactly around the mind a goal. So 1 is meditation. So for you that might just be quiet time, 30 seconds. It might be just doing something that helps you to relax. It might be watching TV. It might be going for a walk. And the second is something called the work, which I'll explain in the next video. Around relationships, 1 is I write down 1 thing every day I appreciate about Elle. For you it might be a daily appreciation text message. It might be just emailing someone, whatever. And then the second is that right now, it's my emails are finished and my work is finished at 4 p.m, which means I go home and I'm present with Elle, which really helps our relationship, and it just helps my energy as well, so we don't sit there fighting about me doing too much work, which I'm sure you understand. And then for business, one action for me right now is contact one person a day. So it might be email someone, follow somebody up, reach out to someone, one contact per day to somebody. And then the second is around learning, which I think is really important. So it's, for me right now, it's learn one new ART protocol each day. It just keeps my mind fresh. I'm always learning stuff. If you're not learning and applying, so for me, I learn the protocol and then I apply it on a client, then you're in trouble. So you've got 4 goals, keep them simple, why they're important, 2 actions around each of the core 4 to keep you in balance. And the last thing that really helps is something called the key 4. It's normally related around your business. So whatever your business goal is, what you do is each week you sit down and you think about what are the 4 most important things that I need to do this week to get towards my goal. So obviously a goal of having 50 trainers signed up for a mentoring program, there's a few things involved in that. It's not just straightforward, well, okay, this is what I need to do every day. There's a few things. So I need to make a squeeze page, I need to have a Facebook ad running, I need to do some demo workshops, I need to chat to some people about getting different clubs involved. There's a few different steps that I need to have that, to have happen. So each week you kind of sit down and think, right, this week if I could only do 4 things, what is it that needs to be done for this goal? What it does is 2 things. One, it keeps you focused on the most important thing. So you might write out a whole list of all the things you could do and then kind of go through what's actually the most important, what's going to have the biggest payoff for me. So it keeps you focused, but it also just allows you to switch off work mode more easily, rather than just continuing to do, and you think, well, the more I get done, the better things will be. And I'm sure you know that that's not always true. You just end up busy for the sake of being busy. You get tired, you get stressed, it affects other areas of your life, like your relationships, your training, your mind. So the key 4 key actions. The longer you spend on this, the better. It is worth the time investment on a Sunday when you tend to have a bit more time to do this. So in summary, first of all, get things in balance, because if you don't have your life in balance, you're going to run out of energy and you won't achieve any goal that you write down. Set a target around each of the core 4: body, mind, relationships, and business. And then from those targets over 90 days, 2 daily actions around each. And be honest with yourself, are you willing to do it? Even on your worst day, are you willing to do these daily actions? And if you are not, you will not achieve the goal. It's what you do every day, not sporadically. Then the key 4 is around the business. It's the 4 most important things that need to be nailed, the biggest things that you can do that week so you can relax and let go and take some time off, so you're not constantly working. And for a small business owner, or for most of us, it's going to help you a lot. So get onto that, use the spreadsheet to do that now. The more time you spend on it, the better results you're going to get. If you skimp through it,